Yes, you are. Good evening.
Yeah.
None of us were looking at each other, and we weren't really ready. So here we go. This is TK Total Knockout, the Eurovision End of Year Special.
I'm excited for this one. Let me tell you.
I can't hear a thing through my headphones.
Have you turned up the volume?
I don't know.
This is going well.
It's the wrong one.
Yeah, you've got. Yeah, honestly.
Doesn't matter.
We're so ready. So, the plan for today's show is we have opinions.
Yes, we do.
And we have 40 songs. We're not going to get through all 40 songs.
We're not going to talk about all 40 songs in detail, but I will be getting through.
40. Where's the 40 come from? I've only got about 9 on my list.
There were 40 entries this year to Eurovision.
Yeah, but I've only done the final.
Okay. There was only 25 in there.
No one told me I'd do the whole thing.
Yeah, there was, 19 in the first one, 20... I swear they split it really weird. They didn't split it
No,
even.
it was 17 and 18 in the two semi-finals.
Oh, right. No, it was... Yeah, that's true. 17 and 18, and then obviously you got the default 5 that go through just straight away. Yeah, okay, got you.
So, the way today's show is going to work is we are going to... I will get up random.org and randomize the list of us three, and we will each choose a song in going round in order. So I am going to drag this over so that you can see.
Ooh.
So those are the three names. I'm going to click
Does it do
again.
like a wheel as well?
No, of course it doesn't.
Terrible.
If I prepared, maybe, but
Is that a budget?
here we go. Ooh.
Gosh, it's not fair.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. So
Rigged.
it is Josh, Tom, Caden is the list. Is the order that we're going with. I'm just going to write these down so that I can work out what is going on today, because this is going to be a fun show, but it's going to be a busy show for me.
We've been very productive on our last show, aren't we?
Absolutely. So, I guess I can start then.
Yes, you can.
So fair.
So I need to, because I have chosen the first song, I can put it in. Yes, there we go. Right, so the way this is going to work is so each of us have got a list of songs.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to work through them in a combined order of the ones we want to talk about and our favourites. So kind of each of us will pick a song and we'll go through and we'll see how we do. So these two concede that I have chosen the UK's entry, Spaceman.
Terrible.
Oh,
okay, before we get into this, we've decided we're going to choose the song, listen to the song, and then talk about it. So here is Sam Ryder with Spaceman on TK Total Knockout.
yes.
That was the UK's entry. Spaceman, of course, by Sam Ryder.
Killed it.
Coming in second with 466 points in the grand final.
Finally, that's
Terrible.
416 more than last time.
That is
horrific.
466 more than last time. We somehow won the jury vote.
That is shocking.
Mate,
that
that's
is
pity
shocking.
points from last time. I'm telling
No,
you.
I
no,
thought-
I don't think it is.
There's
know.
a lot of pity
I
points
thought-
in this show.
I thought from the jury, I thought Ukraine would have won that, to be fair.
Nah.
Ukraine got pity
No,
points.
no.
mean,
We'll get to Ukraine
We'll
later,
get to
I'm
Ukraine
sure.
when it
I'm just
happens,
saying.
but I'm just saying, I thought they would have got the jury one. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
I thought during the results, I was like, surely not.
Yeah.
We're not really meant to do well in Eurovision, in case
No.
you hadn't noticed.
We haven't
Especially
done well.
when you send a TikToker to sing in the world's most prestigious singing event.
Now, I wouldn't say
Prestigious.
I'm just saying.
really?
I'm saying big words.
Yeah, I don't think it's prestigious, but it's definitely the
The most
the biggest music
There you
event
go.
Yes,
in the world
of all time, yeah.
And yeah, I thought that. So I might play last year's that got 0 in a bit.
Oh my god.
And it was like last year's I thought was all right.
No,
No.
I thought we absolutely bombed last year.
I didn't
And
watch
honestly,
last year, so
when we got 0,
wouldn't know.
as honestly as much as we've discovered to learn that I'm very like UK, I was like, yep, we deserve that. End of story. We did so bad, and I'm going to tell you why. And this has happened for the longest time. I even wrote down my notes when I was talking about this song because in contrast, I think that the problem with the UK is we constantly try and send off these quote unquote high energy songs with vocalists who can't actually do like high vocals
Yes,
or anything.
No, it was. Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad song. It could have obviously been, I think, done better.
But I think in the competition like this, especially last year as well, Italy and everything going off with France as well, it
Yeah.
was like, it was such strong competition,
Yes.
and they expected a lot better because we get to just basically just go straight through. We're one of the
Yeah,
big
we're
five,
one of the big
essentially.
five.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, we deserve that. We meant to set the
Deserved.
standard.
We don't
and
deserve that.
But anyway,
Deserve to go
back
through.
to this year.
Yes.
I was like, in the back of my head, I that was all right. That was all right. We've done well here.
You
I
know,
was shocked that we got 12 points.
I hated it.
you know when a football fan gets so happy about their team
Where are you
winning to the
going with
point
this?
where they feel like they could go on the streets and cause absolute chaos with no consequences. That is how I felt when we got second place. Because listen,
What kind of hooligan
there-
football fans do you know?
I live in Derby. I think that's enough to say at
I live
Nottingham.
in
But
Stoke. I ain't seen that like that.
but let me tell you something, right? I have not enjoyed a single, and I mean a single song that's came from the UK since 2017 with Lucy Jones's song "Never Give Up on You." I
Never
have
gonna
not.
give you up.
I have
songs.
given up on the UK until now. But no, I thought it was so good. The vocals, obviously, I was just saying as the song was playing to myself, like I was like, that riff going at the end.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Finally, a song that matches the singer for themselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So I think a problem for us has been the songs have been written
yes.
and then they've found someone.
Yeah.
Because I know when they used to do a public vote thing, for 1 year there were 6 artists singing 3 songs, 2 of them doing each, and it was like,
That's a bit much.
why would you do that?
That is a bit much.
So
into
I
it.
have the points up in front of me on the Wikipedia page. Guess how many countries gave? So guess how? Okay, because there's to explain if you've been living under a rock, there are a televote and a jury vote.
Yes.
We won the jury vote. Guess how many juries gave us 12 points?
Oh God.
How many countries were in it?
There were 40 countries voting minus the UK because we can't vote for ourselves.
So there was
39.
39 countries.
39 countries that could have voted for
I'm
us.
going to
Yes.
go with a good solid 32.
Is that a bit high? That's a bit high.
That's a little.
I'm going
bit
to say
high.
17.
Given no.
Well, I don't watch the
You're
Eurovision,
way
so-
too high. You're way too high.
Okay.
So
3.
given that, okay, we got. Let me just double check how many points we got in the jury. So from the jury, we got 283.
Wow.
So we got 12
not that many.
points from Austria, Azerbaijan, Belgium, the Czech Republic, France somehow, Georgia, Germany, and Ukraine.
That's nearly 10, isn't it?
That's 8.
8. Oh my god, that is still really good. That's like what? That's like 20% basically. 8 out of 39.
Yeah.
That's almost. Well, that's actually just over 20% because
Yeah.
obviously it's not 8 out of
I
40
wouldn't
this
know. I
time.
don't do maths.
So, and we also somehow from the televote, we won Malta's televote.
Nice.
We got 12 points from Malta in
Is
the
that a
televote.
big
well,
thing,
good
or-
on Malta.
Yes, because everybody else gave their 12 points to Ukraine.
Oh yes. The
Yeah.
Which we'll come back to.
Yes.
But yes, so that did you have? So Caden has written a lot of notes for this show. Do you have any further notes that you wish to add before we move on to Tom's first choice?
Yes, I will in terms of the actual show themselves because
Yep.
I just want to say that I think I've talked about this before on the show, but I am a Graham Norton stan
No,
till the day I die.
no.
But
I mean, he
the
was all right.
host, the host of the show,
In fairness, he
not-
has been worse.
not just Ryan Clark and Scott Mills, the other two who obviously were there because of Italy, right? So bad. So bad.
Well,
Am I the only one who's not a big fan of Ryan Clark on TV?
I don't know who Ryan Clark is.
So Ryan Clark is the man. Do you know when he was ever doing like the and now this country is performing. This is a song.
So
blah blah.
there
in the
were
background.
from the UK there were 3 commentators.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Mills off Radio 1, Roland Clark Neal, and those two did the semi-finals.
Yeah.
And then Graham Norton comes in to do the final.
Right.
Yes.
And then there were 3 hosts on the stage.
Yes.
So who did you have? What was just?
I have a problem with all of them besides Graham Norton. I really
Do
do because let me tell you something about the Italian lot as well. Because basically, we'll get on to one of their comments, but they just kept making a lot of weird comments.
Yeah, they're
So
Italian.
basically, like, I'm just gonna, I don't know whether to mention. Okay, so I'll just say this for example. So basically, once Ukraine and Albania had played, they had made a comment, just something along the lines of the energy here is electric. Obviously, there's them hyping up the audience, but to me, and like I said, we'll get onto it. I was like, well, that's thanks to Ukraine and Albania. Like these hosts were dry. They were not good. That woman in pink, I could not understand almost a single word from her at all.
That's
I
a
think
bit
they were all three.
sexist there, Caden.
No,
Bloody
no.
hell.
I think all 3 of them were drunk, and I think she just happened to get a bit too wasted.
Wouldn't you
like,
be-
Were
if
you
you're at the
thinking of a
Eurovision-
particular semi-final or just in
the
general?
first one especially, like the second one weren't so bad. Like they seemed more in control of themselves. That first one, I don't know whether it's because they were too excited or nervous.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Why wouldn't you
but
get
it-
drunk if you were hosting?
No,
But
I
they-
don't. No, I don't
Right,
think
come
they were
on.
drunk. I don't
No.
think they were drunk.
I
I
was.
think we might. If you're hosting, you definitely don't want to
No,
be
no.
Why not?
drunk.
Do anything once. That's all I'm saying.
I think hosting Eurovision is potentially one of the most challenging things
Oh, yeah,
you
for
can do
sure.
as a presenter, especially only one of them presumably spoke English as their native language. Only Mika is,
Yeah.
who is British Lebanese.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still at a loss as to why he was really there.
Yeah.
The other 2 are Italian.
No, and I get that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they were just off the entire time. Like I understand that I may not be able to.
There is, I think, for them definitely trying to that was the 3rd time they do the show. I think
Something like that. Yeah, I think it's because of all the hype from last year.
They do 2 rehearsals.
Italy Eurovision as a whole just seems very controversial at times, don't they? Because I mean, the whole thing that went off last year, and now the host this year. Like
Don't get too
I
close to
wasn't-
the tables, kids.
it was yeah. I just was not. I wasn't a fan of them. I thought they were a bit too deadpan at times. And that's literally the first note that I wrote. I put, did the host not seem deadpan, especially compared to Graham Norton last year? Thank you.
I just find Graham Norton unbearable.
Oh my
I don't see why. He's all right.
He's great. I think
Well, he's not great. He's all right.
he's a great talk show host, let me tell you.
yeah, but that's that.
But I think he brings those skills into Eurovision as well. Obviously, he's
he?
not doing the exact same
Yeah.
thing.
I think my problem is he just talks rubbish about people. and like I guess
Yeah.
I don't like.
I
that.
guess it's me.
What's
Yeah,
wrong with that?
I think no, I think I do get what you mean though, because it's all right during like a talk show because
Yeah.
a lot of celebrities it brings on he's really close to. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But I think during the presenting thing when the countries are coming on, it's a bit like, especially for some of the smaller countries that come on like Malta, it's a bit like you don't really want to be talking rubbish about it. And again, I've got a few
it's
comments.
not.
I've got one comment that they made during a particular song, but we'll get onto it
That's
when
the
we
only
do.
Cool.
thing that kept me watching.
Yes, but you were listening. You were watching with alcohol.
Yes.
I was not. I had
Okay.
a notepad.
So, shall we get on to Tom's? I'm very aware that we're 20 minutes in and we've only done one song.
Yeah, let's just
So-
do like a speed run.
So, Tom, your first pick.
Yes, France. I don't know what the song's called.
I'll find it for
Foulin.
you. It's Alvan and Ahazes, and the son is Fulen.
No,
Yeah.
it's
And
Foulin.
this is the first, I understand, the first song to be sung in Breton, which is
Ooh.
the language spoken in Brittany, which is one of the Celtic family
Yes,
of
that
languages.
would make sense.
Nice.
So this is a Fulen on TK Total Knockouts. That was Fulen representing France at
Fooling
Eurovision.
down the stairs.
The first Breton entry, and that came 24th out of 25.
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible.
Only
Horrific.
17 points.
I don't agree with that at all.
That was horrific. Because I was there drunk, well, getting drunk,
I
bored out of my mind, and out of nowhere, France comes out with bloody
I would have put that
heavy
top 10.
metal.
I would have put it top 10, maybe close to top 5. I would have put
Number
like 6
one,
or
mate.
7.
That was
so
number
I don't.
one.
I don't have France in my first list, but I have it in my second list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as someone who did French A level, I know I'm slightly more in tune or knowledgeable of French, what happens roughly, and I think because France is very much we want to sing a French song, so I think it's actually quite interesting that they chose a song in Breton.
Yeah.
Caden, your notes.
Honestly, okay, so this is one of them because I basically just put, because I also put like what picks I would do from each group of the semi-finals and then what I thought of the finals. But I said like, okay, Francis was great. It reminds me of some kind of club music. It was very energetic.
Yeah.
And I put, even though they're default top big five, I would have chosen to go through anyway.
Yeah.
Like, because I think it was just one of them songs where I was like, it was just good.
Yeah.
It was just a good song.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was definitely my kind of, hate the word, but vibe. You know, I thought it was very interesting and I loved how technical it was as well. So yeah, it was a great song. Top 10 for me.
Oh, something I forgot about the UK entry. You know the things that came down, the three things?
Yes.
They were actually pulled down by techie people on the stage during the song.
Oh wow, that's actually really
You couldn't
impressive.
actually see them, but they were there. There are photos of them basically hiding in the fog.
Yes.
And them just pulling them down when they had to. Any more notes about France? We've had a quick discussion and decided that we need to pick up the pace
I've got some very short notes.
Yes.
I'll just read them out as they are. France has this in bag so far. Tribal / alt rock. He fingered the guitar. A great song.
Apologies if you found any of that language offensive.
Sorry
I
about
don't
that.
apologise.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, Caden, your first pick. I'm so happy with this.
I know, thank you so much, Josh. And everyone who has watched Eurovision will understand. Play that song, Josh. That's Rich by Brooke, represented Ireland this year. Ireland!
That was Ireland and Brooke with That's Rich. They came somehow 15th
They
in
deserve to have
semi-final
come
two.
lower.
They
No.
got 12
Yes.
jury points and 35 televote
That
points.
was the most
Fuming.
generic song you could have ever put out.
So
Absolutely.
we
Eurovision.
argued basically all the way through that song with Tom. Tom
'Cause
is
it's
obviously
not
wrong.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, nah, mate, that's bad. That
What?
I hated it.
So you're okay. So you're telling me that song, out of all
Yep.
songs, just from the part 2 alone of the
Yep.
semi-finals, is a bad song.
Yes.
Then you was not watching the entire thing through and
Yeah,
through.
you
No,
missed
because
a
I didn't
couple.
watch the
Bes-
semi-finals. Because I
besides-
thought we was just doing finals.
Right, let me quickly go to it. First of all, Ireland robbed. I don't want to hear it. Burgled. They got stolen from. They got their wallet took from them on the street.
They're used to
great
that,
vocals.
500 years.
No, great vocals. It could have been a music video.
Great
The
vocals. That
lighting
was
was
auto-tuned.
fantastic and exciting. She was amazing at performing the
She's
song.
horrible.
Go on, Brooke, love. No,
She
sorry,
sounds
that's
American.
my
She's not
opinion.
even Irish.
End of conversation
She's not
for me.
even Irish, mate.
Ireland
She's
was
American.
great, fantastic.
Okay, we'll move on very swiftly. I'm pleased that
Horrible.
Caden picked Ireland, given I was there last week. So my second pick is Miss You. This is Jeremy Marques from Belgium.
Oh God.
Who?
Miss You by Jeremy Marques for Belgium. They came. I had there we go, 19th with 64 points.
Should have been lower. Should have been lower. Listen, I'm just gonna say first of all, in terms of the semi-finals, they just got through for me from the vocals alone in some parts because I thought, who was singing that song again? What was his name?
Jeremy.
Right. Did y'all watch his? Right. I'm not one to talk, but did you
Marques.
see his dancing throughout the entire performance? It was
No, because
bad.
I was drunk.
It was.
I didn't see
It
much.
was bad. His dancing was awful. His costume, like his jacket, seemed like it was not moving properly the way he wanted to. So you just got a bit of stiff move to the left, move to the right. It was not good.
So I must confess, I didn't actually watch. I wasn't able to watch semi-final 2 because I was writing a report that was due the next day.
I actually wish now, and not to spoil it in case we talk about it later, but I do wish that I put the Czech Republic over Belgium. I wish I did that now. Because I'm fuming about their performance with Belgium.
Okay,
I'd just like to say that it was a very meh performance.
So Belgium in the semi-final 2 came 8th. So
Should have been lower.
So
Should have been lower. I put them 13th.
13th out of 18, you put them.
I put them quite low. I was not happy.
Okay. So because I haven't done lots of research, I have gone for songs that I like.
No, that's fair though. Like I
and
just wrote down
I
notes
like
for all
that
of
song.
them.
So next,
Well, hang on a minute. We haven't had Maeve's notes on this.
Sorry,
Very
yes.
special notes here.
Oh God.
It's like every pop singer. There you go. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I get that.
That's
Yeah.
the basic thing.
Well, Tom, do you want to introduce your second pick?
Yes, this is Sentimentai by Monica Liu, or however you say it, from Lithuania.
Ooh, Lithuania.
That was Lithuania with
Yes.
Sentimentai by Monica Louis, I think.
Yes.
Liu, I think.
I think it was Liu, yeah, when I said it.
So, Tom,
Yes.
why did you pick that one?
It was I'm just going to go off my notes here. Slow burner, nice song, mysterious song, very LA noir, swingy, funk, and unique.
Fair enough.
Nice.
That's why.
No, I don't disagree with
It's
any of
just
that.
a chill song, isn't it?
It is. It reminded me quite a lot of the French and Swiss entries from last year.
Very
I said it
romantic
was
feeling
sort of like
almost.
a James
Yeah.
Bond song.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, that
She could be a Bond villain. Monica could. She could be. But we'll talk about why.
Go on.
Okay,
Go on, my
so
love.
Go on,
I'm just gonna go off my notes really quick. So this is me live writing down these notes. Her dress is gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Wow, her skin is glowing. Her vocals beautiful. Staging too simple. Deserves a pass for just the song alone. Repetitive moves during performing. Right, this is a bit that actually irritated me because I thought Monica did deserve to go through for Lithuania. Ryland's constant commentary about the fact that it's not a wig, that's her real hair. I literally put on here, wasn't funny before, wasn't funny after. Oh my God, Ryland, shut up, let Scott Mills speak.
Yeah, I see. This is why. So in 2019, the Eurovision had just the stream on their YouTube.
Yeah.
And I watched it and found it's so much better.
Yeah, it is.
Because you don't have to put up with the commentary.
But that's what I was saying was like starting to ruin it for me because I was really getting into the song because I was like, okay, it's really simple, so I'm just going to have to listen to it alone.
Yeah.
But then all I could hear in the background is just Ryan being like, and that's not a wig. And he
Yeah.
said it like 4 or 5
did.
times, 2 or 3 times before she started. And again,
Yeah.
like another 2, 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, it was never funny. And
But the people clearly need to know.
she did have beautiful hair, but what was the need of him repeating that joke? Like, it wasn't. No one even laughed. I don't even think Scott had a chuckle.
I would
and
have
Scott
laughed.
was like Ryan's little dog throughout the entire show when it came to just
Yeah.
reacting to everything that he said. Because Scott had nothing interesting to say. At least Ryland tried to be funny. Tried.
So Lithuania overall came 14th in the final.
Shame.
I kind
Should
of
have been
agree.
higher. Nah, should have been higher.
128 points.
I might put him a bit high, but
They only got 35 from the jury.
that's really
and
shameful.
93 from the televote. So more popular among Europe.
Should have been top 10.
You
That's what I'm
think?
saying. I think.
Maybe I would have put it
I
close.
think it's in the same sort of category as I said of France and Switzerland from last year and Portugal when they won in 2017.
Yeah.
Like that sort of category that it could have won in another year, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I thought, especially because just watching it in order, I thought that it really stood out compared to Albania and Latvia performing before them. I thought it really was like a fresh take for them to perform in. And I thought, just alone in the first episode of the semi-finals, I thought it was a standout.
Yeah, it's quite different from Albania and definitely Latvia.
Yes. Yeah.
So we can't actually play Latvia's song because...
Do you want to quickly talk about it at least?
I think we'll take.
Were they in the
we'll-
finals? Because
No, they were not.
They were not, and I
You
agree
lot
with
need to
this
start
one.
talking about the finals.
Well,
I got no notes.
Well, I agree with the fact that they wasn't in the finals, and this is the one that I was saying to C's up before we started airing today, and I was saying I kept going back and forth, and I think the one thing was I wasn't connecting with is because actually, the whole thing about they had a message of the environment and health, I don't think it got across besides the intro verse.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So yes, so this song was explicit and had to be the EBU
Monetized.
had to tell them they couldn't use the word that they did.
Yes.
Obviously, the crowd said it anyway.
Yeah,
so
but that was
a
just
little
like
bit pointless.
can't do much about the crowd at the
No,
time, but you can hear it afterwards a bit differently. But who was the guy in the orange suit? Because I had to laugh at him for a
don't
split second.
know.
I completely forgot he was in performance until the end. He did this weird split. And I normally used to be one of the most flexible people out there, but that split was really crunchy. I thought, what was the point of the split? Didn't need to do it. It wasn't great.
Showmanship, innit? Put on a performance, do a split.
But the split was crunchy, which I wrote. But I understand why Latvia didn't get through, and I agree with it, actually.
Oh, I found a song. Sorry, I found an image. Yeah, I see what you mean. So yeah, that was Latvia.
Yes.
Came 14th in semi-final 1.
Agreed.
Yeah. So who are we on? We're on Caden. Caden, your next song.
We are. So I will be playing a song that was represented by Albania this year by Renola Hajati called Secret.
That was Sekret for Albania.
I'm just going to say right now, and I'm so sorry to cut everyone off, but the fact that Albania came 12th and didn't make it through to the finals is an absolute disgrace, and I will not be having it for the people of Albania.
You will be having it because that was a terrible song.
What?
That was every time I've been on an abroad holiday to a.
An abroad holiday.
I'm just saying.
That phrase.
Every time I've been on an abroad holiday, and we go there and they played like kids disco, the mini disco. That's what's playing.
Are you having an
Yes.
absolute laugh?
I am being totally serious.
Are
That is
you
the song that
having-
plays.
Just quickly before we go on, 12th in semi-final one, 58 points.
Good.
So Iceland, who came 10th, got 103. So a decent gap there.
That is
behind them.
quite a lot, considering that Albania obviously was the very first country to perform in the semi-finals.
Yes.
And I thought, we just was discussing it over the break, and Josh agrees with me, it was a strong start.
It was not.
So out of all of the songs for so the way the semi-finals are decided is they are split basically randomly, but there are pots, and it's slightly more complicated to try and make it more fair.
Yeah.
But the country, so it's not these show producers who decide which country is in which.
They don't want to
semi-final.
put some of the countries which are basically neighbours next to each other, like Norway and Sweden. You'll see were different.
That's basically what tries to happen. But
Yeah.
out of the 17 in semi-final one, just looking through the list, I'm not sure that there was a better song to open.
I agree.
Are
Actually,
you sure about that?
I thought
Because that song was terrible.
No, I think it was the best
Because
one.
there are, what I'm saying is there are better songs that would be put later on in the order.
Ridiculous.
There is a
But you
Start
want
with the
a
banger.
decent song to start.
you want to.
You want a strong start, but you can't. I think from a production perspective, you want to put the better songs towards the end.
Start with the
You'll
best.
also notice that they'll put the most boring songs right before the commercial breaks, so people can just be like, "Oh, thank God, commercial breaks are on."
Yep.
That's what they'll do. It's very strategic how it works. But no, I thought it should have gone through. I loved the hair whipping at the one chorus. I thought it really got to me together, and it was a really great performance. And I ranked it second out of the first part of the semi-finals.
So yes, that was. So I decided during that I think it should have come ahead of Switzerland and the Netherlands. So I think it probably should have been in the final.
I think it should have beat Netherlands by far, and I think I might have to agree as well about Switzerland. Yeah.
Oh, I've written the wrong country. Sorry, I'm making quick notes.
It's all right.
So my next song. I'll write this during the next song because I've decided what it is because it's my choice next.
It is.
So it is 12 minutes to 8. We have done 2 rounds of picks. What we're going to do is probably have another round of picks, and then I want to do the Mika power session because why not?
Yes.
So here is for Australia, Not the Same by Sheldon Riley.
Oh no.
That was Not the Same for Australia by Sheldon Riley.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
Why?
Me too.
Why?
I thought, okay, so
Why?
just to start off with just the performance, I thought the set was one of the best sets
Yep.
throughout the night. 'Cause
Yep.
I thought my main complaint with a lot of them that they were too simple and relied on
So was that one?
lighting. Yeah, but I at least like the stairs and how like Miss Finey looked at the very
There was
top.
no point
especially
in the
'cause it's
stairs.
Chris- It still
He
made it look.
walked up at like the very end. What was the point in the stairs?
I appreciate the fact that he was at least elevated up for that entire thing, especially with such strong vocals. To be that high up on the platform and be in that kind of arena, I thought was quite impressive.
How? That just makes it easier to sing.
I don't think it is.
Yes, it does.
Mm-mm.
That's how sound works.
Nope, not always.
I think the song was really well executed, and as I said, I'm just going for good songs here.
Same, and I thought this was simple, but it was really good. And the guy, oh bless him, he was so cute and just humble. He was so thankful
Yeah.
for the opportunity. Absolutely loved him. I would have put him through the final, and obviously, that's what we deserve.
The world agreed.
Yeah.
I've got same terrible pop song, no point in stairs and platforms, cringy crying. So, you know, that's all I'm saying.
You can tell he's not the biggest Eurovision rabid.
Why did we make him do this?
I'm
Give
no,
him
I'm
an
just
assignment.
saying, right?
Give him something to
You
do.
put a man on that stage, and what does he do? He sings for 3 minutes and then cries at the end. What's the point in the stairs?
Because I thought at
There
least
was
it
no
made,
point.
but I still thought it made him look like powerful and strong, and the fact that he
No,
elevated
it
himself
made him
up.
look stupid.
I thought it was good for an emotional song as well.
I
like,
can walk upstairs.
I thought because obviously this whole thing, there was a lot of emotional songs this year
Yeah, they were
compared
all
to the
horrible.
usual cheesy
yeah,
camp
yeah.
pop songs. I thought this is one of the better emotional songs that came out tonight.
Nah,
I say tonight, but you know what?
Yeah, yeah,
horrific.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is Tom.
I'm not even going to pronounce that because that's. Just...
I'm very disappointed. But
all right, I'll
here-
go for it. Mio Hakandi Sol by Sister.
Yeah, this is Iceland on TK Total Knockout.
Yes.
Yay.
That was Iceland.
Yes.
Why? So, okay.
Go on.
You didn't like Australia,
No. Terrible.
but you picked that one.
Yes.
You've got some interesting choices.
I find that strange as well, considering
it's
that
not.
you had basically said that you would just, because you had watched them drunk,
Yeah.
that therefore you might not have been fully engaged in the performance, because just the song alone, I mean, I liked it still, don't get me wrong, but I didn't think it was better than Australia's.
It was. It just
Okay.
was. It's a
Okay.
great Western song. I think it worked for the show, and it was basic. It didn't need to be anything else.
I thought the setup of the stage for it was
Has
nice.
Tom not complained about songs being basic and
Yeah. Didn't you literally
No,
say
but
that
it
earlier about
depends.
Lithuania?
It depends on certain things.
Yeah.
You moaned about Lithuania being basic. I didn't say no.
I did a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I did a little bit, but I don't...
Australia
I'm
had
not-
a terrible set.
No. Australia's one of the better ones.
Iceland knew they didn't need a set, so they come on. It's just like, yeah, mate, we'll have nothing. Just put 3 women on the stage with guitars. Done. That's all you need.
I thought Iceland had one of the more cuter, more
Yeah.
memorable intros when it came to like them being like, and now Iceland is playing this song by this song. Did you know this and that? You know, I thought it was one of the better intros, but I don't have any notes for Iceland. I thought, I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm engaged and I like the song, and I would have put them through as well. Simple.
Fair enough. So it is Caden. You are next. What song have you got? Save it from breaking
You've
itself.
broken it.
Okay. Oh,
We're
dear.
all right. We're all right. We're all right.
Do you want me to continue on?
Yes.
Fantastic. So the song I have decided to put on for my next one was represented by Moldova this year by Zidub Sidub Aflati Advahov. The song is Trenuftul.
That was Moldova.
Yes, it was indeed. Okay, so let me just say, first of all, this song, I think, especially from the first half of the semi-finals, I think this song really represented what Eurovision traditionally does for all of their songs. It was really cheesy, really silly, it was camp. I loved it. I tell you what, and I just said this over break, I think this year, besides obviously Ukraine, I think I really connected the most with Moldova this year, considering what
Connected how?
because like when they said like, oh, it's their third time competing ever, like I'm not gonna lie, I was very like, oh, it's their third time ever competing. They mentioned that, Rylan mentioned that in the introduction bit before the song started.
I don't know that I believe Rylan.
Well, maybe he is wrong, but just hearing that alone, I was a bit like, oh, I love that so much.
No,
I was,
that's massively wrong.
was he wrong?
He's massively
Oh
wrong.
my god! See, another complaint. Anyway, not the
Don't
point.
trust Rylan,
I
everybody.
loved the song, their energy. I thought, this should have been higher up during the finals. I said what I said. It was a fantastic song. It was so cute, and
I
yeah,
wouldn't say cute.
I think it was.
I'd say it was a Madhouse drinking song.
I don't know what madhouse you're going to drinking to that kind of song, because that is a very cheesy. I can see that being more in pop world.
That's
in some
when you're
kind of...
getting the shots out
No,
and you're
it's not.
down in tequila.
What,
and
in
that
southern
comes on.
Texas near a gas station when you're looking for Area 51
Who
being
said
the wrong
anything
state?
about Texas? I'm on about Stoke-on-Trent, mate. You get the go-go juice out, down in it as that's on, in the rigger.
But yeah, I love Moldova, and I ranked them really high during the semi-finals, and I thought they deserved higher on the actual finals themselves. So that's my case.
Love it. So what we're going to do now is have a 10-minute or so break. And this is the Mika Power session. So what I have Mika's interval act, which was
Didn't
just
watch it.
incredible.
I didn't watch the interval. I
Are
skipped
you
it.
joking?
I skipped it.
Oh,
Do you know anything about a song contest, Tom?
This is like the first time I've watched it since I was 7. I
Oh
didn't
my
watch the interval.
goodness.
ridiculous.
Anyway.
This was perhaps the best bit.
Yes, indeed.
So what we've got is I've got the medley, and while I was in an island, I found an excellent, an excellent other Mika song. So we will have the medley and then that song, and we'll be back after that.
Yay.
Welcome back. That was Mika with El Madi, which literally translates to "She Tells Me," and it's basically the translation. So it's obviously in French, and it's telling Mika to write a happier song, and why are you wasting your life?
So pretty much all the songs in Eurovision.
So "Pourquoi tu gâches ta vie" is literally "Why are you wasting your life?"
That was terrible.
Nice. No,
Not a fan.
I'm not the only one who thought it was terrible. Maeve messaged and said it was terrible, so got
Okay.
2 Stokies against it.
I don't know if that opinion is necessarily worth. Okay.
It's
Okay.
worth quite a lot.
Okay, so that was the Mika power session. Next, we're back to me. So I have chosen Brividi by Mahmoud and Blanco
Ooh.
from Italy.
Ooh.
Oh,
no. Ooh.
That was Brividi by Mahmoud and Blanco for Italy.
Horrible.
It came 6th with 268 points.
Should have been lower.
That's a bit much for Italy.
It was too high pitched.
I'm kind of not surprised that Italy would be a bit high. I mean, you're literally in their host country as they speak. You know what I mean? So, but I agree, it's a bit too high.
Actually, the host country traditionally doesn't do very well.
I know, but
They didn't do a very good song.
I think they did a lot better than most people were probably expecting them
One
to.
of them
It's-
stood on the piano. That was...
Is that unacceptable for
No,
you?
that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I don't understand the
stand on
point
a
for it for
grand
this
piano.
song. Well, I don't understand the point for it for this particular song. I don't think it was proving anything necessarily. But I thought the song was fine, middle of the road, simple. It was nice. It's all right.
It wasn't. The performance was obscene.
I don't remember the performance. See, that's not good.
Well,
that's not
no,
good. If you don't
I
remember the
suppose
performance,
not.
that's
According
not
to Maeve's notes, and I apologise to any viewers at home,
Listeners.
Maeve has same thing. Maeve has said, "Why is he touching his penis?" So that was a great part of that.
God.
I'm just saying, very obscene performance from Italy there.
I mean, they literally got accused last year of doing coke on the table, but
Yeah.
And
So
That's not as bad.
Italy's always been controversial with Eurovision. Though they always have though, like in terms of placements and scores, it feels like they've always got a bit more than they necessarily deserve. I still think that France should have won last year, but anyway, that's just me being. But even though I love Italy, I love Italy, but
No, so Mahmoud, who was half of the duo, previously did Soldi from 2019. That was him coming. I'm trying to read this Wikipedia article. 7th in the televote, but most.
Oh, wow.
Second most voted by most voted in the expert jury.
What?
Well,
That's
Italy
a bit
this
smart.
year, or-
From the previous one.
Thank
Okay.
God for that.
So yeah, but so that came second.
Yeah, middle of the road.
Terrible song. Too high pitched.
Okay.
Okay.
So next up, Tom, we
Yes.
haven't quite worked out whether this is penultimate pick or one
Final,
before
or whatever.
penultimate. Yeah, whatever. Yes, your pick, Tom.
Yes, this is. I can't find it now.
It's there,
Hope by Stephen.
Stefan.
I refuse to say it right. From Estonia.
That was Hope by Stefan for Estonia.
Yes.
Okay.
Estonia finishing 13th overall with 141 points.
Too high.
Coming
Too high.
fifth
Should have been higher.
in semi-final 2.
Should have been higher.
What was
with
in semi-final
209.
2?
Fifth.
Too high again.
209.
Nah, it was another good Western song. It lost points for lip syncing. I noticed
I didn't
that.
even
I don't know
clock
if anyone
that.
else saw that.
So I can tell you that didn't happen because it's not allowed to.
Well, it did because I saw it.
They're not allowed to have vocal backing.
You can see it, mate.
I didn't watch
If you
the
watch
second
if you
semi-final.
watch the performance in the final, he lip syncs to the song. Same with Spain. Spain did the same thing.
No, they did not.
did.
No, they did not. Don't you leave
They
Spain
did.
alone.
No, they did, and they didn't sing the chorus.
You leave my
You watch that performance. They had the voices of the person singing.
you leave my Spanish brothers
the
and sisters
background.
alone. I don't accept
Spain
that.
cheated.
Spain did not cheat. Oh my gosh. I'm
Spain
gonna
cheated and went for the sexy vote. They went for the horny vote.
Anyway,
Telling
tell
you.
us why you think Estonia is the best country to ever exist, Tom.
I didn't say that. I just said it was a good Western. It was a good ender.
Meh,
It's not meh. It's good. It's a good Western song.
meh.
Reminds me of songs from my childhood. From
Do you know what? I've heard
Genuinely
it before. I've heard it before.
It
I've
felt-
heard the bloody
it's-
Irish one before.
It felt very similar to the
It's on the radio every bloody day.
Estonian one from
2019. Yeah.
So what? I didn't
The
see
guy with the
2019.
guitar that is span round.
Yes. Yeah. I agree with that. Although I will say, Stephen. Let me look to the camera. I haven't done that whole episode. Stephen, whatever your name is, give me a chance. Very beautiful.
Give you a chance. What
Very
are you
beautiful.
talking about? No,
He was very beautiful.
I don't think he was.
He was very beautiful. That's literally my first note. I put the guy was hot, and I put 7 T's with it. I feel very connected to him.
Fair enough. So, Caden, your 4th round pick.
Oh my gosh, way to put me on the spot like that. So, representing, is it the North Macedonia one we're doing?
Yes, this is.
Yes!
So, Caden has not said this name correctly all evening.
Well, I can say what the artist's name is correctly.
Yes.
Andrea performing Circles.
From North Macedonia.
There you go.
That was Circles by Andrea for North Macedonia.
Yes,
Basic.
North Macedonia. No, let me tell you something, right? So, besides the song itself, which was really good, I picked it because the performance for it was spectacular. I'm sorry. Whoever was performing that, Andrea, hello, Andrea. First of all, give me a chance as well. But also, very emotive. She was fantastic. The stage presence was there. She looked good. Her vocals were fantastic. The stage crumbling through at the bottom with that camera shot from above. That was the Emmy shot of the year. I'm sorry, North Macedonia deserved to make it through. I thought that they were a lot better than some of the bigger countries like Sweden.
The
Yeah.
song was generic.
Nope,
You could hear it on the radio anytime.
I don't think so.
I do.
I
so-
feel like I would go to an actual concert and I would watch that. And I think for something
what a
like
waste
this,
of money.
I think for something like that, I think it's very important too, because you want people to go and see you perform, especially when you're represented in Eurovision.
Cool.
So North Macedonia has my vote.
So I teased Cajun with earlier off air saying I'll reveal where they came in the semi-final results.
Please tell me again.
They came 11th.
I can't believe it. I actually don't accept it. They should have came third or fourth for me.
They were on 76 points. That was 20 behind Azerbaijan, who obviously qualifies.
Azerbaijan deserved to qualify. that's what I'm
North
saying.
Macedonia, I'm sorry, they should have gone through. I
Nah.
don't understand how Sweden made it through this year. I thought Sweden was one of the ones that generally just did bad.
Because Sweden, if I can find me notes on them,
I understand that, okay, they're a bigger country, whatever, but they
It's not
were
about
one of the
it's a
few
big
where
I
it was,
didn't.
it was
wasn't a fan
bad.
of
It
Sweden
was
this
bad,
year.
Tom. Sweden did bad, and Czech Republic is
find me.
right behind it as well.
Sweden was the wolf one, wasn't it?
No.
No.
Which one was Sweden then?
Sweden was the one where it had like the close shots of her with that circle changing colour. So it was green for a while, and then it started changing it from like red to white to blue, and it was just that one woman that
Well,
was
well,
on.
I'm not saying that it's any better, but that was generic.
No, I don't agree at all. I thought it
Cool.
was fantastic. North Macedonia should have made it through. I actually argue that besides another country that I'm going to talk about soon, I think that they were also robbed, like Ireland. Obviously, Ireland was the most robbed. You know what I mean? They got
Ireland
full on
was the same.
burgled. But I thought North Macedonia, no one recognised them for the talent that they had.
I've
That's
just
my opinion.
realised Ireland and North Macedonia, the songs sound the same. Pretty
No,
much.
Dave.
One's just
No.
slower.
No.
One's slower
No.
and more like
No.
lovey-dovey.
No.
The other
No.
one's pop music.
Just
It's
wrong.
the
No.
same.
No.
Just wrong.
Well,
Wrong.
whatever.
Okay, so next up, depending on how we do for time, this is either our final or penultimate round.
Yes.
We'll find out in 15 minutes or so. So this I have chosen for my potentially last pick, depending on how we do. This is Amanda Tenfjord with "Die Together" for Greece.
Ooh.
That was Die Together for Greece by Amanda Tenfield, I think. And I thought the way that was shot
Yes.
from a TV perspective was quite interesting.
I wrote that exact note down as well. So specifically the lighting is what
Yes.
did it as well. I agree.
So obviously we have the studio recordings. We don't have the live versions, but I think there was a lot less reverb on the live versions.
There was as well,
So when she stopped, everything just stopped.
which is quite awkward, isn't it?
Which was, it's not. It stood out.
Oh yeah, stood out. I mean that's true, but I think it's a bit
And
awkward when they just cut it.
So yes, it was literally like for most of it, they were on the shot was pulling out, probably
Yes.
on one of the cranes.
Yeah.
And then it would just stop.
Okay.
Which you very rarely see
That's
in
true.
any sort of broadcasting stuff. So you have levels in broadcasting, like you have the simple 2 camera cutting back and forward between them for whatever studio stuff. The next step up is having the slight movement of the cameras just to give it a bit more flow. And then obviously you go full Eurovision where no shot is static at all.
Yeah, none of it's the same. It's all moving.
Every single thing was probably moving for 90% of that show.
Because that's how I felt about Portugal as well. Because Portugal was a good example of camera angles not being static at all. Because they're all in that circle, they were just going like as if it was like a vlog or something, back and forth, back and forth
Yes.
like an ocean.
I think so. So there's 2 Steadicam operators who literally run around the stage all evening, and it's just like
Yeah, bless them. They are getting a
ridiculous.
workout.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on on to Greece.
Yes, so that's Greece.
I
Greece
loved
was
it.
boring.
You thought it was boring?
I tell you what I appreciated about this song compared to a lot of them is that I thought a lot of them's problem was pacing, and I thought Greece was one of the few ones that combated that problem because I really liked how much it actually built up because I felt a lot of them started strong, fizzled out at the end, and I felt
Whereas
Greece,
this one kept building,
it kept building, it kept going better. And just for context, I have a lot of bias normally towards Greece because my best friend's family are all Greek. So I naturally root for them every year. But no, I think this was one of the ones that was like, nope, they generally just did that great. I was entertained and they absolutely deserved to make it through to the finals.
It was a bad James Bond song.
You're just ridiculous. So
Yeah.
Greece
Well, I
came
am.
3rd in the semi-final with 211.
Yeah.
And they came 8th overall in the final with
Should have been lower.
215.
I think that's around where I put them actually. I thought very fair judging for Greece. Very
Should have
fair.
been lower.
Very fair on
It was,
them. I like that.
Cool.
Boring song.
So, Tom has run out of songs, except for one, which we're leaving to the end. Can you guess what it is, everybody? I'm sure you can't.
Yeah.
So we're going to skip onto Cadence, which means we will definitely have time for at least one more song each.
So it seems I picked a little bit of a controversial one within the studio today, and I'm actually picking
No,
Michael
it's
Ben.
not controversial. Well, I suppose, but whatever.
In terms of opinions, Michael Ben David's song "I Am," which represented Israel this year in the semi-finals.
That was I Am for Israel.
Yes, it was.
So as you may have been able to tell, I didn't not like. Wait, I didn't not like very many of these songs. So like there were very few that I actively didn't like.
Okay.
This was one of them.
Really?
Like it was just
Boring. It's just the same.
No.
Same
Really?
old, yes.
so I think I'm trying to, having literally just listened to it, like the first bit just doesn't seem to sound right to me.
Okay.
I'm not really sure why, but yeah, it just like wasn't. And also, I thought it was like. Obviously, we were saying earlier about there was a good building in that last one.
Okay.
This one I thought was weirdly paced.
Okay, I do kind of agree with the last note though, but I think it did remind me, just the pace alone did follow me of a lot of pop songs, so I will give it that as an excuse, because my opinion is I really like this song. I know you two are not such a big fan of it. I really loved it. I think Michael has got generally, if he goes right, he could make a big career for himself. I think that song, because here's the thing, if I'm watching a show, I want to either be entertained, I want to be emotionally moved, or I want to be educated. And I definitely think that song ticked the first box of being entertained, because I actually got up and wanted to start dancing to it. I loved it. I thought it was so interesting. That riff, about 1 minute and 50 seconds within the song.
What's a riff?
It's like one of those things that's like, it like builds up with just one note. Like it goes like higher necessarily in pitch sometimes, or even lower, but normally higher. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it, and I think they should have got through.
Okay.
No.
So let me just quickly.
I thought it was nice because it wasn't boring, and I think maybe
No. I don't know why Tom keeps saying
I think-
the
I
song's
think-
boring. That
I think he's just trying to say he didn't like
Well,
him.
I
It's
didn't say this
boring.
one
It
was
definitely was
boring.
not boring, whether you liked it or not. It was a
I didn't say
standout
it was
song.
boring.
Yes, you did.
I just don't like. Not this one.
You did.
okay.
The
No,
word
you
boring is-
did.
You literally, as soon
definitely
as the song ended, you went boring.
Okay, so Israel came 13th in semi-final 2.
Good. Don't agree.
Good.
61 points. Yeah.
No.
Good.
That was that one. So yes.
I would have had them there in the finals. I really would have. I don't think they would have won at all, but I really liked what they had to offer.
So next song is I have picked "Snap" by Rosalind of Armenia.
Yay!
That was Snap by Rosalind from Armenia. I just thought it was a nice song.
I thought it was a nice song, but what really, really stood out was the set.
Yes.
Absolutely. One of my notes was is that I like the fact, and I think this is something that a lot of future performers on Eurovision can take. They had a set of a paper bedroom essentially, and at certain parts of the song, she ripped it down to reveal messages in black, like pen or whatever,
Yeah.
written on. Like one of them was like a love heart. One of them said something like hate or something like that. I just thought it was really good, and I loved the fact that she actually interacted with the set, and it meant something rather than it just being decor.
Yeah.
Felt like she incorporated every bit of it, and it made sense for the movements as well, because she was obviously going along like she was running about in the bedroom, which if that set wasn't there, it would be like, why is she running like that? But for that context, I loved it. She seemed really confident singing. She did a great job.
So the fun thing that I found about that set was it actually span.
Yes.
It rotated so that the audience could see what was going on.
Yeah.
But then when she broke out of the room, it had spun around so that she came out to the audience.
Yeah.
Which I thought was done really well, and like you couldn't notice on camera.
No, you couldn't, but it was one of them where you just like, oh, sudden surprise. It felt like a smooth transition throughout the entire thing. They've definitely gone over and rehearsed that God knows how many times. I loved it.
Because I think it would have been so easy to have just done it in that room.
Yeah.
And not included the audience.
She could have stayed in that bed the entire time if they wanted to for a song like that. But I like the fact, especially with the word snap being in the title of the song, she was snapping paper off the wall. I thought it was great. Yeah, great job.
That was every generic breakup song from the early 2010s.
Okay, but
Thank you for our pessimism correspondent.
You're welcome.
Yeah, definitely. How did they do, Josh? How did they do?
This was Armenia.
They did all right, I think.
They came 20th overall, 61 points, just behind Belgium.
Good.
Behind Belgium.
Good.
Behind Belgium.
I do not agree about that.
It was every Taylor Swift breakup song.
Did I think Armenia was going to win? No. Did I think they deserved higher? Yes, I do. Do I think Belgium got too much favouritism this year round? Yes, I do. Because the fact that means that they got what, 19th for Belgium?
Belgium. So yes, Belgium came 19th. Armenia came 20th.
That's
Belgium
ridiculous.
got 59 points from the jury and only 5 from the televote.
Good.
And Armenia got, trying to find it in this list, 40 from the jury and
Ridiculous.
where's it gone?
Ridiculous.
I've
Deserved.
lost it.
Belgium, you thought Belgium deserved higher?
21 from the televote.
Okay, glad for the televotes at least. You thought Belgium.
I'm not saying anything about if Belgium deserves higher. I just think this one deserves lower.
But do you think Belgium deserved to beat Armenia? Like, just that alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Because this song is just every generic breakup song.
I mean,
from the
I
2010s.
put Belgium above Armenia.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just because I really had a hatred for Bulgaria this year. Or Belgium, sorry. I just didn't
Ridiculous.
like it.
Okay, we have 2 songs left and 9 minutes. So we are going to do Caden's last song, which is...
I have to have a last. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, I really wanted to highlight this one specifically. So, real quick, Mary's Beer. The song is Boys Do Cry.
That's not the song they told me.
Why? What was the one I told you? I couldn't
Carry
remember.
on, no
Which-
worries. I can change it. Give me a second.
Oh, it was Sweden, weren't it? Cornelia Jacobs, Hold Me Closer.
Which one do you want, Caden?
Whichever one you've got right now.
Okay, it's Hold Me Closer.
Representing Sweden.
That was Hold Me Closer by Cornelia Jacobs for Sweden.
Okay, so I'm going to go over real quick why this is one of my least favourite performances of the entire
Interesting,
contest.
you chose this as the least favourite.
Yes, and I'm going to go over why really quick because it was one of those things I thought of just last second as hearing Tom's general comments about nearly every song that wasn't his. Yeah, very mainstream song. I think the thing is that I don't think Sweden was necessarily bad. I don't think there was anywhere... I don't think they were bad at all, but I'm just going to say now, the semi-finals part 2 was better than part 1 songs overall. That's my opinion. Like, when you've got countries like Malta, UK did well, Spain did fantastic, Ireland, who was robbed, North Macedonia. I think Sweden really just fell behind this year, and I would have ranked them in the last place for the semi-finals to get through to the finals, just above Czech Republic.
They won the semi-final too.
Which is so strange to me. It's so strange. I will say I did like the circle that they had, the colour changing circle, because it was really well for close shots, because it did just look like at one point she was just behind the green screen. I did enjoy that, but again, if you want to talk about simple songs, this was the most basic song I think we've had.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So yeah, Sweden got 396 points and came first in semi-final 2, and then came where are they? Oh, fourth, come with 438 overall in the final.
I cannot believe it. Should have been a lot
So
lower.
we
Anyway.
have come to the final song. Don't worry, we will be back after this to discuss it. We're going to run over slightly, but nobody cares because there's no bus to get. So
We're all hiking.
we're all hiking back into town.
Yes.
So this is what would have been Tom's last pick, but is obviously the last pick.
Yeah.
This is Stefania by Kalush Orchestra for, you guessed it, Ukraine.
And we're back. That was Ukraine's song represented this year by the Kalish Orchestra with the song Stefania. Okay, so before we start talking about our opinions of this song, we know that there's been a massive controversy, especially with the Eurovision fandom, in terms of, did this song actually deserve to win the Eurovision Song Contest?
No.
So, okay. Before we get into this,
Yeah.
I have just done some maths. The total number of points any one song could have got this year was 936.
Right.
So that's 12 points from all 39 other countries.
Yes.
Ukraine got 631. That is 2/3.
Yes.
They got. I'm just gonna because all of the information is now available. They got, scrolling down the list, points awarded to Ukraine in the televote. So these are all of the countries that gave them 12 points from the televote.
Okay.
Australia, Austria, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Georgia, Germany, Iceland, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, the Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, San Marino, Spain, Sweden, and the United Kingdom.
And I'll tell you why.
28.
I'll tell you why.
That's-
Pity points.
That's 28 out of 39 countries.
That is
Albania,
very
Armenia, Croatia, Greece, Montenegro, Romania, Slovenia, and Switzerland all gave them 10 points. Malta, North Macedonia gave them 8 points, and 7 points from Serbia. So in the jury vote, Ukraine got 192, which put them fourth. But that is, as far as I'm aware, the biggest number of points ever in Eurovision
Pity
by
points.
a long way.
Well, okay, so why don't we just start simple and then we can talk more about it? Why don't we just start with the actual, forgetting the whole country controversy with Ukraine at the moment, just talking about the performance and the song alone. What did you think, guys?
It was a good song.
Yeah.
But it
I
didn't deserve to win.
thought it was quite similar to last year's.
Yeah, I understand
Would
that.
be my criticism of it.
I think I only really had one criticism of the song, but I don't think that's even to do with Ukraine itself. I think it's got to do with, again, Ryland's hosting skills, because he might as well have just told us that they won the final during the semi-final based on how he introduced it.
So Ukraine were hot favourites going into this.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Like there was a real 50-50 that they were going to win.
They didn't.
It couldn't have been very many other countries, and it would have been taken a massive number of points from anyone else. They were literally 190 points or so above the UK, which came in second with 466.
I will say now, it must have been very hard for all of the commentators and that lot and all the hosts to even hide the fact that Ukraine would have at least made top 2 this year.
Yeah, so on the televoting, they got 200 more than the next country, which was Moldova, which only got 239.
Wow.
And Moldova finished 7th.
Yeah, so that is a pretty big gap from 1 to 7. That's 6 whole places skipped.
Yeah.
But in terms of the song, I thought, first of all, the rap was really clean. Even though I don't necessarily speak Ukrainian, I thought that it sounded like
I mean,
it
you
was...
don't speak Ukrainian? Ridiculous.
I know, right? I've kept this so
Shocking,
to myself.
shocking.
I'm so glad I got it out in the air. But it seemed really clean. Yeah, the rapping was great. The camera angles, we talked about this earlier with... which other country was it that we talked about?
We talked about it with Greece.
With Greece, that's right. The camera angles, this one was really interesting, especially from above, especially when the mother's eyes appeared at the back of the stage, which I thought was really touching.
So, Thomas Sharp,
Yes.
just speak your mind. We are past we are officially past the watershed if you do, but I'd rather you didn't.
this is all down to pity points. Obviously, there is a conflict going on between Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, in case you've been living under a rock,
And
Russia
the
as you invaded Ukraine.
And the
Ukraine's
people
been
of
attacked.
Europe saw it and thought, oh, we'll just big them up, boost their confidence a little, and then blasted them with points. The song was good, but it wasn't a winner. So the fact that they got like 400 summit points out of just the public vote, I don't
439,
agree
yeah.
with.
I will say this because, again, I kind of went into it thinking Ukraine's going to be at least top 2, if not win. I'm not surprised by the win in terms of what's going on necessarily at the moment. What I will say is that I think the reason that it won, besides the whole pity points argument, is that especially within Eurovision, it's been a big thing ever since it started that there's been a sense of community and protecting each other within this. So I think that not just with the conflict alone, but seeing what Ukraine has gone through just in general the last few years, and especially now with Russia attacking it, I think that for them to at least have a decent song and perform that, I think that was more enough. The only way I think Ukraine couldn't have won this year is if they did that bad at the song.
Yeah, if they'd have performed it badly, or
if they pulled a Bulgaria, like they would have.
yeah. But like the gap is like over 100 and whatever I said points, and
I
like,
understood why they won.
they got 94% of the available public vote. They were not 439 out of 468 points.
Yeah,
Is how incredibly they did.
I'm happy with it because I thought that, especially because they had such a touching message before, especially about one of the members' mum passing away during all of this. I'm really happy about the fact that, especially like I said, with the conflict going on, that they got some kind of reward for it, because they did put on a good show, and I don't think I could find anything wrong with it. Like, my only criticism with it, and I'd said it, I think, whilst the song was playing, was what happened with Rylan, and that him basically not even hiding the fact that they had won the final during the semi-final, which was a bit like, okay, so I didn't think I need to watch the final. I watched the final a day late, got spoiled about who won, and I was like, not surprised.
No,
but I'm happy that they won.
Yeah, I don't think, like, if the UK would have won, it would have been
victorious.
No, it would have been absolutely shocking.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I think there were probably better songs, but
Yeah.
I think I don't have a problem with the result.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat as you are. Yeah.
But last year I wasn't a massive fan of the result. This year I'm like, meh.
Oh yeah, last year I wasn't really happy at all. I was very strong about who should have won, but this year I'm kind of like, I had some other favourites, but I did like Ukraine.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't a bad song.
Just based on performance, and I can see why people liked it just based on performance. But obviously, with everything that's going on, and with the whole fandom being very protecting each other with these European countries and uniting them together for this contest, I am happy based on that alone.
Yep. So we've made it. It is 9:10. I'm gonna play a bed. Where's it gone? There it is. So this is our final show of the year.
Yes, it is.
Forever,
Yes.
unfortunately.
So coming up on Monday evening is Phantom's end of year show. We will be live from 8 o'clock here in the studio. Myself and SLET Radio Show co-host Angelico will be here on Monday from 8 o'clock until whenever we get chucked out or feel like we want to go home. However, these two have somehow managed to do 9 radio shows.
I know.
And they've done all right.
We've done good.
They've only crashed the system a couple of times.
Twice, to be specific.
And only made me crash about 5 times.
Fair enough.
Actually, no, it must be at least once per episode. But yes, so you two are both second years, so you'll be doing other things next year, presumably.
Yes.
And yeah, I think, that's... So, yes, we should say... So I, as vaguely Phantom Radio's representative here is actually on the committee. Want to say thank you to both of you for coming and doing a show this year. Given that like there's only been 6 or 7 shows at all this year, and in total we've done like between everybody over 80 episodes this year.
Wow.
So yes, thank you to Tom for joining us in January, coming on the show. I'm going to mention her. We're going to thank Jess for coming on with me and Caden in October or so, whenever we did the first incarnation of this show as JK. And thank you to Caden for sticking with me all year. We will be back. So yes, Phantom Radio's last day is Monday, and we will be back at Freshers next year. But until then,
I'm Caden.
I'm Tom.
And I've been Josh. Thank you so much for listening to us this year. We'll be back in September. Good night.
Good night.